this sort of thing when fiction becomes fact. When people blame everyday occurrences on supernatural things without just first looking at the obvious. So this story made the internet rounds, and people, well, obviously it was a ghost, or a spirit with a flamethrower or whatever. Let me give you the story. This is called The Unexplained Fire in Odin. On June 30th, 1940, around 8 in the morning, this farmer in Odin, Indiana, the house is outside of Odin in the woods, named William Hackler. He had breakfast with his wife Winnie, the four kids in the house, and he headed out to a barn to begin his chores. Out in the yard, he noticed smoke coming from an upstairs window on the west side of the house. Because the house had never been wired for lights and there was no open fire in the kitchen, a stove or a fireplace. The cause was a mystery. The Oden Fire Department put the fire out. They left, but as soon as they got back into town, another fire broke out. Smoke was pouring from a downstairs bedroom, so the fire department had to come back. This time, the fire was in a layer of newspapers between the springs and the mattress of a bed. Notice they're low. Yeah, where the fire, all low places. Between 8 and 11, 9 fires broke out in different parts of the house, all without an apparent cause. There's 4 kids and a mother in the house. I mean, nobody saw it. A calendar on the wall went up in a puff of smoke. Another fire started on a pair of overalls that were hanging on a door. Again, all reachable. A bedspread was reduced to ashes. A bedspread certainly reachable. A book taken from a drawer of a desk was discovered to be burning inside, though the cover of the volume was in perfect condition. Firstly, that's not possible, and fire needs air. I'd like to talk to whoever came saw that. But anyway, by 11 that night, there were 28 fires had broken out in the house, but none outside the house. The Oden Fire Department had to call in help from another town to fight the various fires. None of the blazes caused a lot of damage. The total estimate, the fire marshal says, about $200 or $300. The house was built by Marshall Kitchum in the Reconstruction period after the Civil War. But 5 members of his family all came down what was called the burning fever. It's tragic. And the place was sold to Andrew Wilkie, who was said to be a spiritualist. And so what if he was? The Hacklers moved into the property around 1930. So the fire marshal thought about this. He put a lot of thought in it. He said, look, I think what happened is there's lightning rods that are attached to the house, and they became charged, which caused nails in the house to become hot, hence a fire. Someone else said, well, there's gases from a nearby well sparked the flames, a magnetic field caused the outbreaks, or here's a guy from a university came, he looked over the situation. The most probable cause of all, pranks by children. There were 3 small kids in the house. Virginia, she's 11, Dale, 14, Garland, 17, well, he's a bit older, and then the oldest child, Will Hackler Jr., he's 23. Again, this house had no central electric system, but matches were freely available in every room. So they could turn on a lantern, right? Because they had no electricity. So there's matches all over the place, matches and children. The Hacklers moved out. They set up their beds under a tree, and they spent the night there. The next week, they abandoned the house. People were coming to see the mystery fires and whatnot. In the months following the fire, the house, which was just northeast of Odin, was torn down to make way for a new highway. Except for the constant stream of visitors who wanted to see the ghost house for themselves, nothing ever happened on the property again. You know, to me, it's fairly obvious the kids have matches in there. I'd love to track 1940. Well, they're probably no longer with us, but I'd love to track them down and ask them, did you set these fires? Sometimes you just have to look for the expedient, sensible answer, right?